Imagine this: you walk into a room, no new clothes, no fancy jewelry, no extra effort, but somehow everyone's eyes find you. Not because of how you look, but because of 3 words you said. 3 simple words. No expensive perfume can match their effect. No social trick can compete. They don't just make people notice you, they make people want to be near you. Now here's the strange part: most people use these words every single day, but in the wrong way. And when you use them wrong, they lose their magic. But when you use them right, they become a kind of invisible magnet. A magnet for trust, admiration, even love. A psychologist has spent years studying why some people seem instantly likable, effortlessly charming. And over, it comes back to this same pattern: not beauty, not wealth, not status, but a specific signal hidden in our language, one that triggers the deepest part of the human brain, the part that decides, I want this person close to me. Before I tell you what the 3 words are, I need to warn you. Once you hear them, you'll start noticing how the most influential, magnetic people you know use them without fail. And you'll realize why you've missed so many opportunities that could have been yours if you had just said them at the right time. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to break this down together. Not just what the words are, but when to use them and how to make them feel real so they work every single time. And when we're done, you won't just understand why some people are irresistible, you'll become one of them. Before we uncover the 3 words, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I met a woman named Elena. She wasn't the type who turned heads because of her looks. She was in her late 60s, had laugh lines that told stories, and dressed in a way that said she cared more about comfort than fashion. But somehow people loved being around her. At family gatherings, she was the one everyone wanted to sit next to. At the grocery store, strangers would strike up conversations and walk away smiling. One day, I asked her, Elena, what's your secret? She smiled and said, it's not what I have, it's what I give. Now at first, I thought she meant gifts or favors. But she leaned in and whispered, I give people something they're starving for, but they don't even realize, and it only takes 3 words. Psychologists call this verbal affirmation. It's the idea that a simple, well-timed phrase can light up someone's brain like a spark in the dark. Why? Because it connects to the oldest human need, the need to feel valued. Not just noticed, not just seen, but valued. When Ellen and I used her 3 words, people's body language shifted instantly. Their shoulders relaxed, their eyes softened, they leaned in almost unconsciously. The fascinating part, science backs this up. Studies in social psychology show that the right combination of words can trigger a release of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, making people feel a rush of warmth toward you. Here's the kicker, the effect is stronger as we age. Why? Because we start valuing connection over competition. We care less about impressing and more about feeling understood. But here's the trap most people fall into. They use these 3 words carelessly out of habit, without meaning. And when words lose sincerity, they lose power. In part 3, I'm going to show you exactly what the words are, but before we get there, you need to understand the hidden rule that makes them work, because without this rule, the words won't just be useless, they could actually push people away. All right, you've waited long enough. The 3 words that can make you irresistible are, I appreciate you. Simple, yes, but don't let the simplicity fool you, because how you use them is what makes all the difference. Think about the last time someone said those words to you and meant it. Not things tossed over a shoulder, not appreciated in a rushed text, but a real and hurried eye-to-eye moment where they said, I appreciate you. Didn't it feel rare? That's because it is. The world is noisy. People are busy, distracted, often wrapped up in their own problems. We give out thank yous like small change, but genuine appreciation that's like gold, and gold stands out. Now here's the twist most people miss. Saying I appreciate you is not about making the other person like you. It's about making them feel seen. And there's a big difference. When someone feels seen, they lower their defenses. They trust you more. They remember you long after the conversation ends. But there's a warning here. If you say these words without sincerity, if your tone, body language, or timing don't match the meaning, people will sense it instantly. And instead of feeling drawn to you, they'll feel manipulated. This is why I told you in part two there's a hidden rule you need to follow. Without it, the words lose their magic. With it, they can change the way people respond to you forever. And in part four, we're going to go deeper into the exact moments when I appreciate you hits hardest and how to deliver it so it lingers in someone's heart for days. Knowing the words is one thing. Using them at the right moment, that's the art. See, appreciation works best when it's unexpected. If you only say it after someone does something obvious, like handing you your coffee or holding the door, you're giving them a polite reflex, not a lasting impression. The most powerful I appreciate you moments often come in three scenarios. One, when they don't expect it at all. Tell your neighbor I appreciate you not when they've just helped you, but on a random Tuesday when nothing special has happened. It's in the ordinary moments that these words become extraordinary, to when they're doubting themselves. If you notice someone questioning their value, maybe they've made a mistake, or they're feeling invisible, this phrase can be a lifeline. It tells them you matter even when you're not perfect. Free when you're leaving a moment, not entering. In a phone call with, I appreciate you. Say at the doorway when you're leaving someone's home. Endings stick in memory longer than beginnings. Psychologists call it the recency effect. But delivery is just as important as timing. Here's what to keep in mind. Eye contact matters. If you look away, the brain reads it as insincere. Slow down. Rushed words feel transcational. Pause just before and just after saying them. Match your tone to the weight of the words. Gentle, steady, warm, not overly dramatic, but not flat either. When you combine the right timing with genuine delivery, something subtle but profound happens. People begin to associate you with feelings of worth and safety. And that association is incredibly powerful. It's why some people become magnets in every room they enter. But there's still one last layer to this. Because these words can do more than make you likable, they can completely transform your relationships, even heal broken ones if you use them in the way I'm about to show you in part 5. Let me tell you something I've learned the hard way. Relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or love, rarely end because of one big betrayal. They fade because people stop feeling valued. And the longer someone feels invisible, the more they drift away. I appreciate you is more than a pleasant phrase, it's a bridge. A bridge back to people you may have lost touch with. A bridge that can turn a polite acquaintance into a trusted friend. A bridge that reminds your partner, after decades together, that you still see them. I've seen it heal wounds. A father and son who barely spoke for years. One night, after an argument that went nowhere, the father finally said, I appreciate you for the man you've become. And in that moment, years of tension melted away. I've seen it ignite romance in couples who thought their spark was gone. Not through grand gestures or expensive trips, but through small, intentional moments where one looked at the other and said, I appreciate you for how you've always been there for me. And I've seen it bring strangers together. On a flight, a woman noticed the exhausted flight attendant still smiling after a long shift. She leaned in and said, I appreciate you for making this trip so much easier. That attendant told her, "I needed to hear that today more than you'll ever know." Here's why this matters for you. At 50, life isn't about collecting more things, it's about collecting deeper moments. It's about creating warmth in the spaces you enter, so people feel drawn to you not because of what you have, but because of who you are. So here's your challenge. Before the day is over, choose one person, family, friend, colleague, or even a stranger, and tell them, "Sincerely, I appreciate you." Watch how their eyes change. Watch how your connection shifts. And then imagine what your life would look like if you did that intentionally every day. Because the truth is, our resistibility isn't magic. It's a habit. A habit built one genuine moment at a time. We are wisdom, recorder, your knowledge source. If this message spoke to you, subscribe and like for more insights that can change the way you live, love, and connect.